Definitely, I hope let's start. It's almost 35.
Yeah, sure, sure. Uh, okay, let's officially start our live webinar, Jira Beyond Boards and Win Every Project Manager. Uh, before we start, here are a quick ground rules. Use the chat to network, share your thoughts, and post any of the questions there. We will take them up during a dedicated Q&A, and one PDU will be credited to your account automatically after a week. So please email events at the rate of PMIPCC.org if you not received a PMI ID after PDU after a week. Okay, we encourage open discussion, but please keep comments respectful on the topic. So today's session is all about Jira Beyond Boards, win for every project manager. Most of the teams use Jira like a digital task board, but here is the thing. There is so much hidden power most of the project managers never touch. Our speaker will help you on how to use Jira beyond the digital task board or dashboards. Now it's time to introduce our powerhouse speaker of the day, Shahadab. Uh, Shadab Naveen is skilled Atlassian certified expert and a senior DevOps consultant with extensive experience across different Jira hosting environments, including server, data centers, and cloud. Along with his advanced certifications in Jira and other Atlassian tools, he brings years of practical know-how, helping teams streamline their workflows and optimizing the project management in the diverse setup. He is passionate about making collaborations easier and more effective, often sharing practical tips on how to get most out of the tools like Jira beyond just basics. Get ready for a session filled with useful insights and real world advice from someone who is truly beyond been in trenches helping teams turn ideas into actions and technology into results. Over to you, Shadab.
Thanks, Prasadna.
Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening. I hope all of you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, so I'd like to start sharing my screen. I hope you can see my screen as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to the knowledge sharing session for this PMI World City Hyderabad event. I'm Shadab, and today I would like to share some of the best practices and knowledge I have gained in the last 1 decade working with multiple instances of Jira. Uh, Apart from Jira, I have also worked on many other ALM tools like Rally, IBM, collaborative lifecycle management tools like Rational Team Concert, which is now called uh, Enterprise EWM, work management, and Azure DevOps, and many other tools. So with this, I think we'll get started with this session. But before I get started, I think I would like to understand the familiarity of Jira from this audience. So there is a poll. Please share your answers to the poll. So I want to know, how familiar are you with Jira? Are you a beginner, intermediate user, an advanced user, or do we have any experts as well in the session today? I hope you guys can start answering this.
We have a 34 answered. I'm just stopping the poll.
Hmm.
Yeah, here are the results.
Okay, so we have almost half the participants are beginners. And then I also see some of them are the intermediate users. Then we have 18% advanced users and then 9% expert users. I also answered as an expert user here, so I don't know if there's anybody else there in the audience, but yeah. So maybe I will keep this session to very basics because majority of the audience are at a beginner level in the Jira. Okay, so the objectives of the session would be to move past task tracking. A lot of us know Jira as a project management system, but we just oftentimes do task tracking, bug tracking, or issue tracking kind of things with the basic workflows and Scrum boards, Kanban boards, all of that. But there is so much more power in this tool that you can leverage, like standard workflows. You can customize the workflows. You can use custom fields to capture any data beyond the developer data. Just like you don't really have to, I mean, you can always have fields which are related to your teams, be it software teams or any other teams. You can also add some standard custom fields to capture the project management aspects as well, like uh, risks or any of those topics. I mean, it depends upon the kind of project you are in, right? So we will look at some of the things from that perspective, and we will also look at dashboards, uh, like how you can elevate your dashboarding skills by utilizing the best practices like the 5S methodology. And how do you go from a simple Scrum team planning to a multi-project planning or a multi-sprint planning, right? It could be for one team, one project, or for multiple projects. That's where I'm going to focus more on in today's session. And in the end, we will also quickly talk about what it means to have an expert Jira admin by your side, right? So those are the objectives. With that, we'll look at the Jira beyond the sprint. Like I mentioned, most of us just start with a Jira project with one team, and then we start adding stories, issues, whatever you call, to the backlog, and then start doing sprints, and then spin up a Scrum board, get to our daily stand-ups, move the issues, all of that within one team and within one sprint. And we do sprint by sprint, right? But you can do a multi-team or a cross-functional planning using the advanced features like the advanced roadmaps, what it used to be called previously. Now Atlassian calls it as Jira plans. So what does advanced roadmap deliver? So you get a multi-project view in a advanced roadmap plan, which are now called as plans. So I'll quickly jump onto the tool as well to just show you, maybe walk you through a couple of screens of these, where to find this, how do you actually bring up a plan, all of that. But let's just see what we have got here. So we have a timeline view, and wherein you can see the issues in an hierarchical fashion. You can build your hierarchy above epics. I'm sure most of you know the standard work item hierarchy of Jira as epics at the top level and stories tasks, bugs at the standard level, and subtasks at the -1 level, which is the child of the standard issue types. But you can actually create hierarchy above the epics to leverage a lot more potential from Jira. And this is available on premium and enterprise plans. So that's the feature what you have got with advanced roadmaps, and wherein you can also see dependency management. You can also visualize some of the scenarios for your project plans. So with that, I think I'll quickly show you what an advanced roadmap plan is. I'm in Jira, I've already logged in. So typically you would see this kind of an interface, which is for you, and where you will see plans on the left sidebar. I've already created a plan. You have a plan here, and then the plan can have your issues loaded. I tend to use issues because I'm still not used to the new nomenclature of work items. So I've loaded some of the issues from a couple of projects. What you see here is SSPB, SSPA. These are two projects which I have my issues loaded from. I can quickly show you what I've got in my plan. So these are all the work items. There are 4 spaces, 2 boards. So you can scope so basically add more work items to your plan from the uh, plan scope view. And you have a timeline view, and you can visualize the work as per what you want to see. For example, if you want to look at the initiatives, you will just look at the initiatives and you can plan them, right? Just on a very, very high level. But you can also do a deep, uh, deeper plan with all of the items loaded and marking the dependencies between the stories. You can just click and drag these items to link these items. There are different type of linkages, although you can use the block type of the link issue to show the dependencies. Of course, that also can be configurable in Jira. So from the timeline view, if you go to the summary, what you would see is what your project plan has, right? You will see a lot of details in here as well. So one of the key things, what I have at least seen in a lot of setups or projects, is the project managers do capacity planning outside of Jira, of course, because natively Jira does not have the capacity or a feature to do a capacity planning within the tool, unlike other tools like Rally or any other tools. But you do have some marketplace add-ons to do the capacity planning. Because we are talking about the advanced roadmaps, you get the additional feature of visualizing or configuring team capacities, like what I'm showing you right here. So my plan has got 2 teams. You would see the current work for those teams, whatever is assigned, and then their available capacities here. You can leverage this feature, and you can also do dependencies. So you can click on the dependencies to look at which of the stories block the other stories, and what actions can you take, right? So this is one of the views I've not seen a lot of people using. So my recommendation would be definitely you should be using plans if you are on a premium or a enterprise subscription. You can roll up the dependencies to features or epics. That's what normally teams do. Uh, so you see the stories are blocking each other, but now when you roll it up to an epic level, you see that you have dependencies between the epics as well. This gives you an idea on what to prioritize and how do you actually meet the goal of completing the project. Basically, a critical path kind of an analysis, right? So, yeah. And then I also talked about what if scenarios. So the advanced roadmap plan has got a feature called scenarios. Uh, at least in my experience, a very limited project managers use the scenarios feature. So if you have not seen what scenarios are, in the new or the latest UI of Atlassian, you see the scenarios here. You don't see it by default. You would have to just enable it under the features. So if you go to the feature, sorry, you have got scenarios here. You can create your scenarios. So the current one I'm viewing is an initial scenario, and then you can also create additional scenarios like the best case, uh, just to see uh, how you can meet the goal, right? So in reality, how does this work? So if I go to the timeline and initial scenario, this is my scenario, right? I have one of the items, which is an epic being blocked by another epic here. So I can move this, but then I do not want to do it right here, but I will just look at a best case. What can we do? So how does this work? Based on the teams you have here, based on the previous velocity the teams have produced, uh, Jira automatically uh, schedules or makes a scenario for you based upon what you can achieve. It will take some previous data and then generate a plan for you. So there you go. Jira has now auto scheduled some of the work items. You see the plan getting changed here, although your original plan is not changed, but you would only see a scenario of it, right? I'm just accepting the changes. Uh, this is the best case as as far as Jira is concerned, and with the given data, this is what it could come up with. Now, as a project manager, you can accept these changes in the Jira, or you can just discard them and do your uh, planning outside, basically, right? This is just to compare between the scenarios. You can have both the scenarios in Jira and just see what you can do with the uh, advanced roadmap plan using the scenarios. I hope that was clear. Yeah. So I think we did talk about the capacity planning as well. Uh, like I showed you, Jira gives you the ability to do capacity planning in the advanced roadmaps, and you should be aiming for the 80% team utilization of their available capacities when you are planning in the initial phases, right? Because there could be some amount of unplanned work which could come up. So you should always aim for 80% of the uh, planning. And why do you have to do capacity planning? I'm sure everybody knows that we do not want to overcommit things, and also want to set some reliable dates, right? So those are the main objectives, as well as to balance the load between the resources. So more often than not, we tend to overload some of the critical resources. Uh, but yeah, doing a proper capacity planning, we can balance that load. Okay, so the next thing I've got is you should really uh, write down the scope and link it to your initiatives in Jira. You can leverage Confluence, another product from Atlassian, which goes like uh, tightly coupled with Jira. You can just navigate in and out, basically to and fro, without even getting out of Jira, right? So you will have options to create project play pages, uh, use a lot of templates. Uh, what Atlassian offers, I think there are more than 130, 140 templates available in Confluence to document your project charters or define the scopes, and then link it to your initiatives in Jira. That'll make your life easy in terms of the traceability. You don't have to switch between a lot of tools to find where is the documentation for this initiative or for this project, right? So that is one of the things you can do. And then your work breakdown structure. So the work item type hierarchy is your work breakdown structure in Jira. So you should leverage that. If your organization is little different from the others who use the default work breakdown structures, feel free to change that, discuss that with your Jira administrators, whatever best suits your processes, uh, in order to get faster to the goal should be the way, right? So leverage the work breakdown structure. And the next section, I want to discuss about monitoring and controls. Like how can you monitor your work? So far we have talked about you have to leverage advanced roadmaps, hierarchies, workflows, all of that to properly utilize Jira. But you can also control what data is in the tool and how can you clean it up, right? So that the leadership as well as you yourself can make data-driven decisions. So I'll take the questions in the end. If anybody has any questions, maybe you can save it for later or put that in the chat box. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with JQLs, and more often what we do is we just use JQLs to search for issues or create some kind of filters to whatever data we look at every time. But what you can also do is highlight the risks within your projects, right? You can use an issue type called risk and have the team log the risks in the tool during your planning sessions or anytime during the project, and show that onto your boards so that everybody is aware. For example, there's a developer who's working remote and is not really finding time to communicate with anybody else, the project managers or anybody, but he has a risk to highlight. They can just log that in the tool, and that is visible on everybody's dashboard, right? I will show you a dashboard where you can highlight this. So I highly recommend that you use at least some of these in your day-to-day work so that you don't have to spend time in discussing with the teams or following up on any of the issues, right? So the next thing what you can do is highlight the overdue or the block tasks. If there are some of the items which are stuck and critical, then you can just highlight them on the boards, maybe using a JQL filter, which are like overdue and not completed yet, right? Use the JQLs. And You can also have some of the filters created using some custom fields. And if the audience of your board or the dashboard are high-level executives, then you probably want to not show every data, which is not really of any use to them. If you just show them up with a lot of bugs or tasks, what your team is working on, nobody is able to grasp or take any decision from that, right? You will have to keep your reports very, very specific. Um, show, I mean, on a very high level, you can show them by different colors. If everything is okay, on track, probably show them as green, and something which needs immediate attention should be highlighted in the red. And then leverage the automations. You can um, set up automations in Jira project to notify all of your team members that there are upcoming items that are due in the next week, or you have your sprint ending by end of this week. You can just notify people. Oftentimes people join the daily scrums, but they don't really track what they have to do, right? You can leverage the automations um, and the notifications to ask people to update Jira, all of that, right? It is going to make your job really easy. You don't have to follow up. Okay, with that, before I jump on to the dashboards and show you how you can leverage what we just talked about, I would like to understand how many of you are comfortable creating dashboards and using the FIRES principles in creating the dashboards. Maybe you can just submit your answers. Okay, probably will give.
Ending the poll in 5 seconds. If you are waiting, please.
Okay,
Ending
so
it.
let's see. Yep, let's see what are the results.
Yeah, here are the results.
So if we look at, a lot of audience are pretty comfortable building clean dashboards that stay consistent, and also 31% are like kind of okay, not very much, 22%. Good. So with this, we'll move on to the dashboards. The FIRES dashboard, I'm sure most of you already know what the FIRES technique is. Uh, you have these terms in the Japanese language, but the translated into English are sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain, right? You can sort your tools, data, whatever you are working with, set them in order, uh, and make your data shine, standardize that, and then you maintain that, right? That's basically the sustenance. With this, I'll quickly show you Jira dashboards. So you should really create at least at a minimum two dashboards, one for your teams to see how they're doing. This is basically the team's dashboard, which shows the current sprint health, the burn down. I know there are a lot of other metrics you can populate onto your dashboard, but the idea is uh, to to let you know that you should be doing a team level dashboard, which is like uh, detailed, like what your team is really working on, and also another dashboard for the executive leadership where they just need to get a feel of what's happening, right? And you can also do, I mean, you should do a fires dashboard to keep things clean. For example, you have a dashboard here which basically shows you have some epics which are not assigned to any initiatives, right? You may create those now, but you tend to forget why and to which of the initiatives do they belong, and then you will waste time in figuring out or linking them, right? Later when you don't know. But when you know the why you are creating them, please make sure you link that to all of the things. Like when you create an epic, link that to an initiative if that's applicable, probably link Confluence documentation, and also start creating child stories. And if there is some work already within Jira, link that so that everything falls in place, right? So the main objective of a 5S dashboard is to clean up uh, and standardize some of the metrics. Like you can quickly show how many stories are there in your projects which are not estimated yet. You don't have to pull up a report. You can quickly look at this, click on this, you will get the details, right? So that's the idea. You will have to leverage the dashboards for this. Obviously, you would have to spend some time with dashboards and the gadgets in Jira. Just for your information, I've used rich filters add-on as well as a custom charts add-on to build these dashboards. You can leverage the native Jira ones as well, but yeah, they do not have a lot of gadgets which can do this kind of reporting natively. Yeah, like I mentioned, dashboards, uh, they provide the real-time status. You don't have to uh, pull the data every time to do your weekly reporting or a monthly reporting, right? You can save that time for other things you can focus on, and Jira does the work for you. And the other thing, what I do not see a lot of project management doing is leveraging the power of Jira to do the risk management. Natively, Jira does not have anything like a risk issue type, but yes, you can work with your admins, discuss what you want to achieve, and then you can set up uh, risk as an issue type, and also create custom fields to capture the impact and the probability of that particular risk, right? That will give you um, so you can rank your risks with mm, the one with a higher impact and most likely to happen would be on the top priority, and you should mitigate that first, right? Either uh, discuss that, try to solve that first. So you can leverage the Jira power to do the risk management as well. I know a lot of industries have different risk management needs. Like there are other techniques out there like a room board or many other things. But at a minimum, you should be doing basic risk management within Jira. If time permits, I can just walk you through that as well. And you can analyze the risks and track them on a Kanban board, and you can automate the responses. Basically, set up some automations whenever a risk issue type is created. Uh, Not just the person who created and who it is assigned to should get notified, but the project manager and any other key stakeholders in the project should get notified, right? So you can set those automations, and whenever those risks are updated and closed, you can notify, you can have automations to notify your stakeholders. That way, you don't really have to do it communication outside of the tool, but leverage the tool's power to do that. And yeah, lastly, you can, if in your organizations, if you are not the one handling Jira, please partner with your admins. They are your, I mean, uh, they can help you in offering better solutions to implement your process, right? So oftentimes, everybody tends to create their own custom fields, their own workflows, their own process, and it becomes like too many chefs in the kitchen, right? So in the end, Jira becomes unusable after a period of time, right? So if you work with your Jira admins to streamline the process, your tool is going to be a lot cleaner, and that will give you results. I think I'll now show you what I meant by the risk management topic. So if I go to one of my space here, I just have one Kanban board, which basically shows risks only, uh, so that everybody in the project can see what are the open risks they have right now, right? For example, there's a risk, uh, and you can create custom fields like the impact. So the impact could be a numerical field, 1 to 5, on a scale of 1 to 5, what is its impact, and probability, right? You can then arrive at what is the ranking of it using these fields. You can also have another custom field doing the automatic calculation for you, right? There are different ways, RPN scores, business values, a lot of things you can do in other areas, not just in the risks. But at a minimum, when you're doing risk management, you can do this, and you can have a risk owner as a custom field. And whenever you make updates to the risks, for example, team is working on it, and then they have mitigated that risk, right? So they can close the risk, and this person gets notified. I'm sure a lot of you know that you can do all of these in Jira. So I am simply showing you a sample email notification that somebody has modified this particular risk, and then you're prompting them to go and check the risk, right? This way, you don't have to do, uh, the project managers don't have to do follow-ups or inform the stakeholders. The tool can do it all by itself if configured right. So with that, I think I am ready to take some questions. I hope this was insightful to you, and
Thank you, Shadab. Thank you for your insightful and actionable session. Now it's time for our audience. If you have any questions, please drop your questions on the chat or unmute yourself and ask your questions to the speaker.
I think I already see some questions. Probably starting with Jira full form. So Jira is name of the tool. Atlassian named it Jira. I think back when they developed it, it was called Atlassian Support System. And some of the Japanese teams were using it as a bug tracking tool, and they just named it Gojira, and later it became Jira. So that's okay. Somebody's already answered that. Is this the cloud version or data center version? This is a cloud version of Jira I'm showing you with the premium subscription. That's where we see roadmaps. In the roadmap, can we configure to make, okay, probably I will share this and go through the questions. In the roadmap, can we configure to make it visible by quarters instead of weeks? Yes, you can just change the way roadmap looks. Okay. So when you are in the roadmap, in the timeline, you see that quarters, years, or even you can set your custom dates on what level of timeline you want to see. Right. So the next question. Sorry, I lost the window. Okay. Can MSP and P6 files be imported through Jira, and the project planning and monitoring can be done through Jira? MSP is Microsoft Planner. Is that what you mean? I'm not sure what it is, but you can do some of the imports are what do you call supported. CSVs are supported, but other planners we just have to follow what Jira supports. But on top of my head, I don't remember if that supports it. Yeah, CSV and Excel data can be imported. And any ideas on how we can use rich field controller on dashboard to show filtered data and gadgets when there is no common identifier between initiative, epic, story hierarchy? Uh, Shanti, I may need to look at this more deeply. I mean, maybe I can answer this later. I'll share my LinkedIn profile here, and you can also connect there and ask your questions. Any
Right.
idea on release management in Jira? So natively, Jira has ability to create releases, but it is limited to one single project. And advanced roadmaps also has an ability to create cross-project release, but it is just a container comprising of multiple releases. So oftentimes I see teams using other apps to do release management. There are many apps available in the marketplace to do this.
Hi, hello. You're able to hear my voice? Shadab?
Yes,
Sir,
I can.
actually, in Jira is the open source tool, right? Isn't it? You can we can log in and log in and we can manage all the project related compliance and sprint. So I have one question here. How Jira help manage projects if we have delayed in the client's deliverables? If I have any issues, we already stopped at the client deliverables. How we can manage this problem to to satisfy the clients, because if there is an issue in the stories like any dependencies. So we are not delivered that in a sprint plan as per the sprint line, as per the agile methodology. How we overcome as a project manager? How we overcome on this problem?
So, I mean, there could be reasons for the delays. It can be the team was not clear on what is to be achieved at every sprint, or there could be any other reasons for that, right? One thing I could think of is with an external stakeholder, being transparent is the key. And I know a lot of times we cannot be transparent, but you would have to look at why did we not meet that timeline. So from Jira point of view, it all depends upon what you have fed to the tool, right? The only other features what you have in the project planning is the auto scheduling features, or visualizing what is there in the tool. But it cannot just give you a solution to uh, fix things then and there, right? So it all, so you would have to do that retrospective and corrective actions basically out of the tool.
Means we have to create a respective meetings on the developers, what dependencies are there. So how
Yeah,
we,
so I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that you would anyway do as part of your agile ceremonies, right? When you have a sprint demo, you also do a retrospective, like how did it go, all of that. You can, if you are falling short on your deliverables, you can do a retrospective to see why is there a delay, basically. If I mean, there could be multiple reasons that uh, requirements changed, the stakeholder is asking a different thing now, it was a different thing a month ago, right? There are a lot of things. So the advice would be to collaborate and understand.
okay. But as per the agile methodology, do you have any methods to show the
Okay,
client this is a
so
problem?
yeah,
Or
I mean, honestly, I'm not an agile coach, but I'm a tool expert. Uh, so I can share what you can do with the tool.
okay,
But yeah, maybe I can answer that after checking with the coaches.
okay, okay, sure.
Thanks for that
Thank you.
question.
Sure, sure.
Any other questions?
Hi, Shadab. Padmini
Yeah.
here. I have a question regarding this plans. So, with respect to Atlassian intelligence, is there any capability change or any new features added in plans?
Mm, not that I have noticed, but there should be, because after Atlassian Intelligence, Atlassian has announced and in fact rolled out Rovo for a lot of instances. In the latest Team 25 Europe conference as well, they announced sometime around November, mid of November, this is going to be rolled out to everybody. So what you would see is you will see an unified search, and also uh, Robo is inbuilt into Jira now. Robo is actually the AI assistant uh, product, basically works on top of Atlassian Intelligence. And Atlassian, there should be some features which at least I have not seen them so far. The plan I have now, even on my enterprise, it's not enabled yet. So I've not come across that. But there should be a lot of features coming in every uh, area of Jira, Confluence, tools from the AI perspective.
Uh, the current plan you're using is premium, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But
And the work scheduling which you just did, it was not through Atlassian Intelligence. It was the normal feature which is
yes,
there on plans, right? Okay. Yeah.
correct.
Thanks.
So this was the auto scheduling feature, which was there from very beginning.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, not after the introduction of Atlassian Intelligence, all of that.
Yeah.
This was there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions from anyone? Can we have a session on Robo if possible, Shadab? Sure, I would love to do that sometime later because, yeah, right now even I am exploring a lot of capabilities of Robo. So far, I've liked it. I don't know if any of you have explored it and maybe can share your candid feedback.
We might get it maybe in Q4 of this year, is what we heard from our company.
Right.
So, yeah, just waiting on that one.
Yeah. So I think the date what they announced for every site was around 13th of November. Uh, this weekend or yeah, they should be doing it now. In fact, my organization sites are due for that this weekend. I don't know what will happen on Monday. We'll see.
Because we are migrating from data center to cloud, so it's like a 4 or 5 month timeline that we have. It's a huge shift for us. So
Hmm.
that's why it will probably be in Q4 for us.
Okay. I use Azure DevOps. Can we have a similar session for radio? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I cannot promise, but we can try. Maybe we can bring in another speaker as well, uh, who's more of an expert in ADO because I have spent little time, I think about 1.5, 2 years with ADO, not more than that. But with Jira, I think it's almost been 10 years now. Sure, Monish will look at the possibility. Any other questions? Anyone?
Thank you, Shadab. I think we can move forward. And if you have any questions, please you can reach out to Shadab on LinkedIn. Shadab can share.
I'll
Yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah. Um,
Over to you, Rasagn.
Thank you. Um, Thank you, Shadab, for generously sharing. One second now. Yeah. Thank you, Shada, for generously sharing your experience and wisdom. As a token of appreciation, PMI Pearl City Chapter Hyderabad has honored you with the thickest of 3 trees planted on your name for black tigers at Odisha. Thank you for growing knowledge and sustainability with us.
So thank you.
Thank you. I have a quick announcement that you will definitely be interested in. Registrations are now open for PMI Pearl City Agile Conference 2025. It's happening on 13th December from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. IST. This year, the theme is product centric agility, leading, organizing, and measuring what matters. And the entire day is designed around the practical learning and a uh, real world examples and all. And networking with some of the strongest voices in the industry. Registrations is now officially open, and seats usually get picked up very quickly. You'll find the link in the chat and QR code on the screen. You can uh, you can quickly register it. I'd encourage you to register today and block your seats.
So
I'll keep
team, this time we are going with a very limited opportunity for this agile conference. So it's a very limited seats we are going for in the in-person. So it's as the MC was also saying. So please go ahead and register it as soon as possible so that you can get the seat there in the in-person campus.
The QR code you mentioned is no invalid. It's coming as I don't know.
Use the link. It's been posted. Probably I'm just sending the link again. Yeah.
I'm sharing it. Okay. Uh, as a quick reminder, your PD will be automatically credited after a week if you have provided your correct PMI ID. If not, please write an email to events@pmipcc.org. And please do take a minute to fill the feedback that you will receive via mail, and feedback that helps us improve the sessions coming up. And this is the social media handles. Please follow. You can find LinkedIn. You can find the YouTube links and all. You can get all the updates of the upcoming sessions and all here. Please scan the QR codes and follow the handles.
The GST details, what mean GST details? Nothing, yeah.
Sorry.
What is mean GST details?
You can skip that GST thing. It is not a mandatory thing. And with that, we wrap up today's cases. A huge thank you to Shadab. Meanwhile, I'll leave this screen for you. Please take your time and register for this. I'm resharing the link in the chat if the QR code is not working for you. Thank you. Thank you, team. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Happy weekend.